Our generation struggles with mental health like no other generation or people in history. Mainly, it's anxiety and depression, is because we've built a comparison culture where we're constantly comparing ourselves with other people. And this boils down to the invention of social media. Now, there are so many benefits to social media, but with those benefits come trials and challenges like we've never seen before, where people are comparing themselves, their private lives, with the public persona and the perfect snapshots that people post on social media. And so we're comparing our internal life with the highlights of people's external lives. And then the second is the economic uncertainty of this generation due to the constantly changing climate and new innovations. Once again, so many benefits, so many pros, but there's also consequences, which is economic uncertainty, job instability. And the solution from a Torah perspective, which has changed my life personally, is one word: bitachon. Bitachon means trust and reliance, not faith, even though faith is part of it, but primarily it is trust and reliance in the creator of the universe, and internalizing the concept of divine providence. So let's break it down. We'll start with divine providence. Divine providence says that God, the creator of the universe, which is everywhere, there is no place that is void of him, is involved in every tiny micro aspect of our lives, to the most minute detail. It's not like we have our lives and he oversees our lives just from a bird's eye view. No, he's involved in the smallest details. A person who stubs their toe in the middle of the night, that was from God. You put your hand in your pocket to grab $1, you grab 10, that's from God. Not even the smallest details are by accident. Now, if the most minute details of our lives are not by accident, how much more so the major events in our lives? Our relationships, who we marry, our business partners, the jobs we have, our children, the major challenges, health challenges. Everything comes directly from God. And God does everything for the ultimate good. Now, what kind of good is that? Well, the ultimate good to get us to become the best version of ourselves, to get us to reach our full potential. Our full potential, which is only in hiding, it's only a potential unless it is actualized, unless it is brought out through our actions, through our efforts. And most of the time, we do not move unless we are forced to. We do not go outside of ourselves, outside of our comfort zone, unless we are cornered, unless we have no other choice. And so the level of challenges in our lives is in direct proportion to the amount that we need to bring out of ourselves. When we compare ourselves to other people, we forget that each one of us came into this world with a unique set of skill sets and gifts and a unique set of challenges. And comparing ourselves to others is robbing ourselves of our uniqueness, of robbing ourselves of our journey. Because while we might see on social media the highlights of a person's journey, we don't know what they were here for in the first place. We don't know why God put them here. And the more we're focused on what we see on social media, on the lives of others, the less focused we are on finding and identifying which parts of ourselves need to evolve, which parts of ourselves need to give, and which parts of ourselves we need to give to the world to make a massive contribution. And a massive contribution can be helping one person in our lives. That could be all worth it. If we make an impact in one person's life, it's all worth it. Because that person will in turn make an impact in the people in their lives, in their children, in their descendants. And now you're changing all of history with just one person. Let alone if you're helping and making an impact on tens, hundreds, thousands, millions. But it all starts with helping ourselves, with internalizing the fact that we each have a unique set of challenges which are stepping stones to bring out the true potential that's buried within us. And it's only by stepping and using these challenges, internal and external challenges, that we can step up and rise to our true selves. And then we have skill sets, we have unique gifts. And this world, this generation, the marketing of this world wants us to think that our gifts, everybody has, but our challenges, those are unique. We're snowflakes when it comes to our challenges, when it comes to our trials and tribulations. But when it comes to our gifts, we don't need to take those to heart and be proud that God gave us those gifts, because everybody's got them. When in reality, it's the other way around. Our gifts are unique. Our unique combinations and package of gifts are unique. And our challenges, other people have them. Now, if you combine your unique challenges with your unique gifts, you are a gift to the world. But we have to accept it all and not compare ourselves to others. Everything that's ever happened in the past was in order to make us who we are today, and so that we can then be the person we need to be tomorrow. We don't know in the moment why things happen to us, why we have to go through certain trials and tribulations. In the moment, looking forward, we don't understand. But looking back, it'll all make sense. But if we are constantly comparing ourselves to others, once again, we're robbing ourselves of our unique, authentic selves. It's okay to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is actually the way out. We are all human. There's no need to act and try to be perfect. We all know that we're not perfect. So being perfect or acting perfect is inauthentic. That's not me. I know that I'm being myself when I don't try to be perfect. When I embrace my imperfections. When I embrace my trials, my tribulations. I also embrace the gifts that God gave me. And that's being humble. Being humble is not bringing ourselves down and disregarding our gifts and making ourselves nothing. And it's also not being more than what we truly are, or acting like we are more than what we truly are. Being truly humble is actually being self-aware and centered and accepting and present. That's being humble. Acknowledging our gifts and embracing our challenges and trials. And by doing so, we can rise continually to the next levels of our lives, from level to level. And each level brings its new challenges and its new gifts. But If we compare ourselves to others, we can only have anxiety and depression. If we don't accept that every single thing in our lives, from the global perspective to the most minute details, are straight from God. God guiding our each and every step during the hard times and during the easy times. And the hard times are the ones that push us to come out of our shells, or to push us to work on the character traits and work on the things that we would avoid if it was left up to us. But God, because He loves us and wants us to be the best version of ourselves and actualize our potential, puts us in difficult situations so that we have no other choice, so that we don't give ourselves the option to cop out. Just like the past is all in God's hands, and everything He has done for us is for our best, even if we don't understand, that applies in the same way with the future. Whatever will happen is also in God's hands. And yes, we have certain ideals of what we want, but do we really know what's best for us? No, because we're in the micro. We're so zoomed into our lives. We don't see the big picture. We don't see our past lives. We don't see the future. We see the present moment and what we want and need right now. But God takes into consideration everything. He looks at it from a bird's eye view and then zooms in and zooms in and zooms in to the most minute detail to put in place every single aspect that needs to be in order for us to reach the end goal, which is becoming one with Him, reaching our full potential, bringing out our true gifts, which is a result of overcoming our trials, tribulations, and challenges, and actualizing and acting on our true gifts. And we never can do that if we're just in comfort. Because in comfort, we don't need to do much. We don't need to do anything. But in discomfort, that's when we're forced to bring out the best in each and every one of us. So when we internalize that, we don't need to be depressed. There's nothing to be depressed about. And yes, there are an exception of cases where it's a chemical imbalance in the brain that leads to depression and anxiety. But for the vast majority of cases involving depression and anxiety, it's depression because of our past, or anxiety over the future, or depression over hopelessness in the future. But that only comes about when we forget the God that created us, that created the entire universe, the vast universe, and us, which are a microcosm of the universe. And just like God can take care of the entire world and the entire universe, of course He can take care of each and every one of us. He takes care of the most minute microbe. And He loves each and every one of us. So the past was to make us who we are today, even if we can't clearly see it. And the future, it's impossible to fail. It's impossible, because even if things aren't exactly the way we had envisioned, then it's better. We have to have Bitachon, trust and reliance, that the future will either be the way we envision it or better. And if it doesn't look good, that's only an exterior facade. But it is exactly what we need to bring the best out of each and every one of us.